I had a plan for my day and it wasn't this. And so, you know, I have to be pretty disciplined with my limited amount of time to do these reviews on bags you want to see. And there's sometimes when something gets delivered, I know where it's from and I don't open the box because I know that if I open the box, I'm going to be compelled to just dive right into it. Well, my discipline got the better of me and I opened the box. Now this one came from Ukraine and I had a plan with the holidays and some holiday guides, and some other things I wanted to get out there. I was going to put this out mid-December. But sometimes you just open it up and dig into it and look at it and you're like, well, I know what I'm doing today. And it is reviewing this PACKOLAB City Carrier PLCC version 2. Now I haven't seen the version 1 ever, except in videos and photos. And when I got my Samurai, I was super stoked to get a backpack and support my friends in Ukraine doing some great stuff. They didn't have one available. Well, they were going to improve the City Carrier, so they wanted me to wait until this version came out. So here we are. Now this is version 2. Of course, I picked Multicam Tropic X50 and an RV-X25 Hyper Orange inside, which is one of my favorite combos. So we'll get out some other green and orange things to compare it to, but really I just wanted to tell you and show you the features that are baked into this backpack so that you're prepared for the next time the orders open up, which I think is soon. And if you know you're looking at this video in the future, these orders happen on Instagram. You just have to follow, like, subscribe to their posts, and you'll get notified when they post things, and you're gonna want to sign up for when they do another drop. Get your name in the hat, get a bag delivered. You know, it takes some time, right? They got to build it and then they got to send it to you from Ukraine. Shipping is a bit of a problem, and the power might be out because of bombing going on in Ukraine. And so there's some circumstances might delay the construction, but don't worry, it's gonna be worth it. So let's dive into it. Let's dissect and really get into this PACKOLAB City Carrier version 2. Let's get it. Hey, where are you going? Come back. Everybody wants to know, like, what is the comparable bag to the PACKOLAB City Carrier PLCC version 2.0? And the answer is there really is no direct comparison. It is a completely unique design. Nothing else comes close. But I do have a few that have some features that will come close. But really the answer is like none of these. And so I've got a ton out here. I'm only gonna really talk about 3. So like I've looked at Triple Out Design bags, they just don't do it. Both the Lightspeed and the Axiom, some similarities, but just too small. Evergood's the new book bag, that doesn't do it. You know, here's one, I'll talk about that here in a second. The GR1, no. Features, design, it is the same height, but no, that doesn't do it. The dragons and the unicorns, size-wise, no, just camera cubes. No cameras inside. These ones are similar, but they just don't do it either. So really what I came down to is only a few bags that resemble the size and makeup of this one. And really when you look at the dimensions, although a little bit bigger, this one's 24 inches. This is the GR2, 26 liters, so 2 liters difference. We'll put up dimensions here. These are the most similar. Now we have some similarities, but the front panel of this is just blow your mind different. More about that here in a second. We have, you know, the depth is sort of similar. You know, the back panels, shoulder straps, that's how they kind of look. Very similar, but again, as we'll get into this, just a lot different. You know, but that's, they both sit similarly, so that's one of the most sort of alike. Got out the brown buffalo because it's in the same material, and there is some similarities beyond just the obvious awesome color. Both X50, But no, just way different bags. And really it comes down to these are the most two similar. The Alpha 19er Evade 1.5 shares some similarities with it. So, you know, dimensionally, here we go. You can see how they kind of stack up. You know, and really, because we have multiple layers of stuff, you know, this one, of course, the Evade, and I've done videos on these, has some organization in the front. That is sort of similar to this, but then, you know, you could argue that inside the GR2 from GoRuck, we have some organization inside as well. So these are the most similar in terms of stand on their own, have the same sort of feature set, but again, drastically different philosophies. And as you dig into the details here, we'll just see a lot of differences. So that was just, you know, everyone's like, well, how does it compare? How does it compare? That's how it stacks up dimensionally compared to other bags. But this is, again, a very, very unique bag that we'll just really have to kind of walk through to talk about. Again, you order through Instagram. They don't have a website. It is designed, constructed by hand in the Ukraine. So you could experience some delays based off of political situations going on there. But eventually you'll get it. And again, the shipping was an interesting path, but eventually it will get to you. But you order it, it's built and designed. You have some options. So when you get selected, Boris will send you a way to customize it. Mostly external, internal fabric choices. We have some mesh choices, AquaGuard or not, loop panel or not, and that's pretty much it. The rest of the bag is just as you see it in terms of main features. I chose X50 Multicam Tropic and an RVX25 orange interior. Obviously I put a loop panel on the front and I used the built-in standard pockets and a Kevlar mesh on the inside. Now, front of the bag has a very awesome pocket. We have a main compartment. We have a top pocket. And we have a laptop compartment. So we have lots of things going on here. We have a very awesome back panel. The back panel has got this distinctive diagonal panel that when you fit it on your back, it's not like you feel like you're crooked. It just sits normally on your back and you don't notice the difference. Little air channels, very nice and padded. Just very, very comfortable. The straps have the same aero mesh on the inside as you do in the back panel. Grippy but comfortable, and again, sufficiently padded. No load lifters on this one. We do have a nice little loop up here for some other stuff. And we have a sternum strap that adjusts up or down. And then it's got a little bit of stretch in it. So that's a nice little feature that they added. Again, this thing is like all the little details you found, maybe one or two in another bag, they put them in this one, or they incorporated it into this design. So a little bit of stretch right here. We have some elastic keepers for all of your external webbing. We have fit lock on the front, you know, just awesome. And then, you know, you're gonna have a little bit of space in here. Why not put a pocket? So we have a nice little hidden back panel pocket. It's along your back. No one's gonna get into that sucker while you're wearing it. So that, you know, secure items there in the back panel. And you know, this little handle. Only one other bag. The able carry bags have this little bathroom hook or hook on the wall set up so that you can hang the bag without hanging it from the shoulder or the top handle. Now the top handle is more front loaded than it is in the back, so it's nice to have a way to hang it on the wall if that's, you know, the way you choose. So again, back panel is fantastic and I just love it. Sides, we have a handle here, right? Well, we have loops built into this thing, and this thing is just a simple latched in handle that if you didn't want it, you can remove it. But you could use it as a luggage pass-through because he built in little loops here for you to take it off here, put it on the back, now you have a luggage pass-through, or just kind of put it, or just get rid of the whole thing if that was your choice. So I like it. Both side bottle pockets have nice little built-in material, nice little elastic on the back. They'll sit super flat. Again, that handle could go over here if you want it on this side. But you just have really cool sit flat, use them, or they expand if you're going to use them. Big enough for, he says, up to 1.5 liter water bottles. This is my 18-ounce Yeti, fits perfectly. Before I forget, the bottom, nothing except some padding, and the way that he put the zippers on the front, in case I forget to mention it later, they go all the way around the bottom to really give you full clamshell access to the bottom. Just nice little details. The way this all comes together looks really, really awesome. Now, back to the front of the bag, we have this laptop area, very nice and padded on the inside. There is a way to get into, to remove the frame sheet if that's what you wanted to do. I don't, I'm just gonna leave it in there. I love it. And there is 2 pockets, and they're both slightly elevated. The main pocket is slightly elevated, but what's in there, and it's really cool, and I almost forgot to mention this, is there's a, I'm gonna have to take it out to show you. They incorporate this nice little piece of Velcro, and this allows you to tailor the depth of this pocket to your laptop. So for me, 13-inch, ba-boom, 16-inch probably almost at the bottom, because it will fit a 16-inch MacBook Pro or laptop. So that's just, I've never seen anybody do that. So the fact that they incorporate that into the back of this bag so that you can have a customizable depth for your laptop, so it's just right at the top and the most protection that you could ever want. So awesome. And then there's another, hard to see because it's all black, but there's another tablet sleeve which is in there too. So this thing is super, I mean, genius if you ask me, and I'm never gonna get it to the right spot. That's gonna be a whole nother project, getting that back where it was. Because again, customizable, he had it in there perfectly. I think you just have to roll it up a little bit and then let it expand. Either way, laptop area, fantastic. AquaGuard zippers, because I chose that. Middle zipper is this nice little comfy lined pocket, big enough for the largest iPhone and then some. And so yeah, that's where that thing will live, right up top. Nice, overly built, comfortable handle. Got a little spacer mesh underneath, so that is nice and super comfortable. Again, little latch things everywhere for this set of loop. Now we're getting exciting. This is the front pocket area, which has got a lot going on. We have a front pocket, which is one area backed with mesh. You're seeing an orange. That's more about that in a little bit. But this is a front pocket that goes full width, and it is got a little dimension to it, so you can puff it out with whatever you wanted inside there. You know, this will be my iPad will live in there. My small iPad will just be inside, which is great. This thing is completely locked into place. There's a nice little Fidlock snap magnetic that just loops itself in and just keeps this thing, you can see it attached. No concerns with the security of this front panel and pocket. This thing, when you're not using it, or if you want to just secure it, you can just tuck that behind the little pleats and will be essentially hidden. Now we have some side pockets. Now you can unzip them. This whole thing got a little bit of an angle to it, just like the back panel, sort of a signature item, if you ask me. Now this, with that front area kind of tucked in, you could use a big pass-through, stick maybe your jacket just hanging out of there as you're going through the airport kind of thing. It also lets you access what's back here, which is really awesome. And then, for the, you know, as JT would say, the party trick is this thing undoes itself. So you can see this is the little magnetic snap. The other piece is up inside here, and so it just boop, magnetically latches itself into place and allows it to secure. Undo the zippers, and on the inside we're looking at the back of this pocket. So that's the mesh. You can kind of see what's in your pocket from the inside, and so there we go. See, that's the front flap as it falls away. On the inside, a ton of organization. We have a bottom pocket. So you have what's just in the pocket, then you have this little stretch, see the little orange. Then you have this little admin section with one little pen pocket, and then a bigger section. And then this goes all the way to the top. And then we have this zip pocket on the inside, which about down to here. So keep things secured on the inside, multiple layers between that and the outside world, but just super cool. I mean, look at all the admin. Not removable, but who would want to remove it? It's all built in. Keep yourself organized. And then while you're on the go, just loop in and grab some stuff from the side, or undo the whole thing and see it all if you're a get to work kind of person, and then work out of it. Put it at your desk, because it will stand. One of the best freestanding bags that I've seen, and designed to be that way. You know, what can you fit in there? Put your phone on that side, put your phone on this side. You know, just go to town. But this looks awesome. Just super cool. When you're done, zip it up, tuck this thing underneath, the main flap underneath, and then that buckle snaps into place. Now you're back up and secured. Let's dive into the middle. As we dive into this part of it, onto the front flap, again, my orange, we have a top pocket, which is great. Again, standard top pocket, bottom mesh pocket, plenty of room, and you can see it's built in a little bit of space. Actually, this is where you can remove the other middle frame sheet. So you've got a frame sheet up here, which keeps this whole layer more secure, but if you wanted to just remove it, you have the ability to do that. But again, I don't plan to do that. Now, what's also cool is he puts in little drop-in pockets. So this is where I'm putting my cords, my travel cords, that kind of thing, and they're just out of the way. You know, probably not put my phone in there, but AirPods, maybe a cord or two, maybe a charging brick, that kind of thing in that section. X-Pack label, and the little Ukraine little ribbon in there, which is awesome. This sort of tells you like how it stacks out. I've got a 8-liter Evergoods packing cube, and I've got 3 field pockets from GoRuck. These are just the slick kind. Actually, this one's got Molly on it, but these ones are just, that's how kind of it stacks. That's how it is. And honestly, the footprint of the bottom is about the same dimensions as this 8-liter packing cube. So that's how I would typically roll with this sucker, is with that. Now the genius is still going on here, because on the back panel we have another little drop-in pocket, just keep some things organized, a loop panel, favorite patches, maybe another admin panel, that kind of thing. We have a area to put a hydration bladder or hook some other accessory. The problem with that is, how do you get the bladder hose out? Otherwise, it's just a nice place to hook some things. We have on each side, we have 2, and this is the mesh choice. I went with Kevlar mesh. We have with some little pleats built in there. So we have a little area for 2 areas. This one's a little bit tall. This one doesn't go super deep, the back one, but you can just, again, further organize all of your stuff. There's one on each side. So it's just, again, boom, so much thought put into this bag and how it sits and puts together. Now the other, party trick, if you will, the genius comes into this thing is if you have the Samurai. Now this is the PACKOLAB Samurai. This one's out of X51. Did a video on this, put it up here so you can see the total walkthrough on this. Now my design has these little loops on it because of the shoulder strap that you would go around town with. Now what's awesome about that is these little loops will connect perfectly with the back panel on this thing. So how am I going to roll with this sucker? Maybe a packing cube or something in the bottom, and then this area right here is where this thing's going to live. Now if you wanted to live out of this bag with this thing included, so maybe you wanted to use the Samurai as an internal organization for this bag. You can loop it through. I'm not gonna latch the loops or the hooks, because that will be tricky, but you would want to do that if you were gonna leave it in there for quite some time. But for me, in a temporary use case, so there's the Samurai, perfectly suspended as I travel around in the bag. And not, what I've been using this for is my camera cube, because this thing will fit, you know, my normal Sony a6700 or all of my action camera stuff. So a couple GoPros, the Pocket 3, maybe the drone fits up here. The Neo from DJI fits up there. So pack all my tech and expensive stuff at the top. Packing cube, maybe another camera cube on the bottom. I'll show you a few choices down here in a second, or kind of show you what works and what doesn't. But anyway, that's fantastic. So he incorporates his other signature bags, the Samurai, and of course now the PLCC version 2. Fantastic. Love this thing for what it is. That's how this thing's gonna roll when I go on my trips, because I have all my tech, packing cube, or a bigger camera cube. So since we're on the subject, what other camera cubes could I have in here to go along with this thing? So let's take the Samurai out, take the packing cube out. This is a Moment 4-liter. Perfect. Fits in there perfectly widthwise. So if you're one person that uses a Moment 4-liter, that thing is very nice. So the PGY Tech size, I'll put it up here. That one fits perfect. Now it would be a little big, a little too deep. So this is a Peak Design Small. Another one of the great sizes. This thing will also fit in there perfectly. And to be honest, if you had this thing in there, you got a little bit extra room, but still that's fine. So Peak Design Small, which means the larger, the medium, this medium will also fit, but it'll just be a little too big. This one's perfect. These are, you know, maybe a couple of those. The Evergoods Cap 2s would fit in there. Anyway, just perfect. But that, my friends, is the genius of the PACKOLAB PLCC version 2. What fits, what doesn't, how it compares, what do you think? So there you go. Hope you liked this video on the PACKOLAB City Carrier. Kind of a no-brainer. Had to crash on this one because this bag is so awesome. Lots of features, lots of little details that you wish other companies incorporated into their designs. So super excited to see this one. Can't wait to see what they come up with next in Ukraine from PACKOLAB. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Definitely follow PACKOLAB on Instagram so you get notified of when they're doing another drop, so you can put your custom order in. And again, gonna take some time, but it's worth the wait. So, we're gonna enjoy the weather out here in Georgia. See you in the next one. See ya.